non-apologetic news.
I was chit-chatting with this girl, right? And we got onto the topic of bachelorette/bachelor parties. Not for, like, me and her. Like, I don't even know her last name.
Just the concept of
Yeah,
it.
and I got to telling her about how I don't even agree with the whole concept. I don't like bachelor parties, bachelorette parties. It seems foolish to me, you know, because, I mean, we can play the nonsensical role all we want, but it is the person's last chance to cheat. We can say it's not. But it exactly is, whether that's male or female. Because if you look into the stats, they say that leading up to a marriage in 30 to 60 days before the marriage happens, this could include the bachelor/bachelorette party or just the time leading up to the wedding, 25% of people have admitted to cheating. And you add that on to the 50% of marriages that end, over 50%, with half of those being due to infidelity or suspicion of infidelity, we can kind of cut the nonsense here, you know. And I'm not pulling the veil back or anything, fellas, because every dude who's about to get married, he knows what's going to go on. His buddies know what's going to go on. Every woman who's about to get married, she knows what's going to go on. All of her lady pals know what's going on. The only people who are lying or hiding are the two people about to get married, hiding it from each other when both of them know that the other one is doing it. I don't know about you, but I don't want to marry a woman who's still wet from sex from the night before.
Yeah, me neither. I'm not real big on marriage in general. So bachelor parties, I don't see that happening in my future. Never been to one, never participated or
Oh, you never been to one?
No.
Well, everyone can have good intentions, but it's all the exact same thing. And it sort of falls underneath the lines of like strip clubs.
Yeah.
Like, I never been a fan of strip clubs. I've been to like maybe 5 in my life, and I think half of those times I was with you when we were out of town in various locations across the country. Like there was that one outside of LA in Inglewood.
Yeah.
You know, so we were staying in Inglewood for some music stuff, and regardless, we go down, we're walking around, we're just getting hammered, exploring Inglewood at night, and we find the girls strip club. So we go in there, but if you remember, when I was with you, we spent the entire time just outside by that flame pit, the smokers area, just chit-chatting with people who would come out there. However, I sort of lost you to the streets over the next 4 or 5 days, where you just kind of lived down there.
Yeah, I did. I had the time when I was walking back to the hotel like 2:30 in the morning and got nervous and like called my mom back here to talk me through it.
Or you call me, I don't remember what time it was, but it was the night that Obama got reelected, right?
I remember that too.
So there's people outside just firing shots.
Yeah, I didn't think the hood cared about that, but they did.
Oh,
it lit up as soon as they announced
and then you
Obama
call
was
me
elected.
And you say there's a homeless person who you're going to like give some money to or whatever, and you're walking with him, and then I'm like, hold on, if you're walking with him and you're near the hotel, I'm going to come out to make sure he doesn't lead you down the alley.
Guy's going to get and he left his backpack on the bench and just went in the hotel, never came back, just left his bag there sitting.
That's right, because he's like, let me get your money.
He
I'm
had
going to
pills
run
in it.
inside.
We took him
I
and-
wasn't going to say what you were doing with him, but yeah. And yeah, so he leaves his bag, and Inglewood PD is constantly driving by, and we're like, we don't know what's in this bag. So we look, you know, obviously he'd rather have the $20 in his bag.
Yeah.
So we open it up and we start looking through it, and we find a bottle of like Dilaudids or something I'd never really had any experience with.
They weren't nothing special.
Yeah, and Inglewood, California in general, Venice, whole area, does not like those types of pills because we tried giving them away to every person.
Like, no, we don't want that garbage.
Do you remember the last night before we flew back? You know, we're in Inglewood on that main stretch, whatever it's called, and that goes underneath the 405.
Yeah.
And I'm trying to just give away this whole bag to someone. And then Inglewood, we're the only people on the street at this point. We're in front of that gas station by the hotel. And Inglewood PD drives by and then busts a Yui and starts coming back towards us. So I got the bag of pills in my hand and I just drop them onto the ground and continue walking, right? And they slowed down more or less to a stop, sit there and stared at us for a moment. We kept walking, but there were so many street lights. I don't know how they didn't see this baggie of bright red pills laying there. Yeah, I remember we were whispering to each other like, hey, just run into the hotel. We'll just run into like we're somehow going to get away from Inglewood PD. Not to mention the other trouble you got me into with Inglewood PD. Stumbling across crosswalks.
And I ended up in cuffs. Almost went to jail.
Yeah, I remember that because like they cuff you.
If it wasn't for you, I would have went to L.A. County.
And I'm like, whoa, stop! And they're like, are you drunk too? And I said, no, I haven't drunk anything. I'm hammered. You know, they're like, are you on probation or parole? I'm like, no, I was. And then I was like, let me whoop his ass. The hotel's right there. I'll hit him right in front of you. Let's get him. He was already in the car, and then they let you go, and they're like, we not a nail nada see you again. But I digress.
What they say, your boy's drunk and we don't like that shit.
Yeah. Inglewood. Yeah. Inglewood was great though, by the way. But yeah, the strip club thing, and I never got it down there too, because everyone wants to kind of act like ballers. Like it's a baller thing to pay a woman to get naked and to drop thousands of dollars. For me, I don't want to drop $20 in a strip club because I don't see the point. Like nothing's gonna happen. I'm not gonna give her 20 and she's gonna be like, you're a hell of a guy. What are you doing later?
Yeah.
You know, those things just do not happen. And I think the bachelor/bachelorette parties fall underneath that. And I know some people have an agreement where they can have sex outside of the marriage. And I mean, under a certain, that sort of situation, that's great. Like you could meet up to get married and see who's got the bigger body count from the night before, you know? And I know for some people, like a bachelor party, their plans are just to get together, play Call of Duty. They got a board on the wall, a big bracket style tournament they're going to run through. But he's got that one dirtbag friend who's feeding the soon-to-be married man shots in hopes that when he has a woman who was already planned to come over later, that guy will be drunk enough to get himself a little nook.
By the way, I got 3 hookers waiting outside.
And then on the flip side, like anybody who's in a relationship knows your girl has a friend who you don't like her going out with. She's a bit of a trick.
Yeah.
Well, that's the woman making sure she's going to be taking some Dawn down her throat before the end of the bachelorette party, you know? So we can just get past that. Let's not act like everyone doesn't do it. It's just what's going to happen. And I don't know about you, but I don't want to have my first instance of marital sex while she's still stretched out from the night before. Just assuming he's got a big old swingers in these theoretical situations where the man and woman do not exist. So bottom line is, I guess, don't invite me to your bachelor party because I'm that dirtbag who's going to get you hammered and going to make sure you're going to have some boobies in your face. So yeah, suck it up, buttercup. The life of a bachelorette/bachelor party is a dark, sick, and twisted one that honestly I would not participate in. Because if you're not ready to get married, don't get married, right?
Yeah.
All right, y'all. Sound off in the comments if you disagree. And have a good night. And go f*** yourself.
Non-apologetic news. Non-apologetic news.